everyone, it's the newfound Nomad, and today I'm going to be talking to you about my bug out bag. In my last video that I uploaded to YouTube, I shared with you my EDC, my everyday carry. It was a survival bag that I take with me no matter where I go every single day, as it carried some survival gear in there, but also items that I use every day, like my phone, my keys, my wallet, so on and so forth. So an EDC, as I shared with you in the last video, gives you up to 24 to 48 hours of survival. It can give you even longer depending on your geographical location and what you carry in it. My EDC was designed to give me up to 24 to 48 hours of survival. It was really just to get me from point A to point B. So say if I'm working in the city, you know, an emergency happens or shit hits the fan, I can't drive my car. Well, I'm walking to point B. And where is point B? Well, that is where my bug out bag is. This bag I'm going to show you today. So there is actually a tier system when it comes to talking about emergency survival bags. EDC being tier 1, your bug out bag being tier 2, your inch bag being tier 3. And I'll get a little bit more into the different types of tiers when it comes to emergency bags. However, each bag should complement one another. So if your EDC bag gives you 24 to 48 hours of survival, well, your bug out bag should give you anywhere between 72 hours to months of survival, depending on how you pack it. So the thing is when I talk about complementing one another, is that the gear that I have in my everyday carry, my EDC, will go into my bug out bag once I reach the location to grab my bug out bag. You'll see later on in this video what I mean by that. If you're feeling confused, don't worry. I will do a whole video on emergency bags and the tier system. Please keep in mind that when it comes to prepping, we all have different knowledge. A lot of it is similar, but we all base our prepping on what we've learned from other preppers. So it's kind of just like a cycle. And depending on your geographical location, you know, where you live or who your influences are or what type of emergency you're preparing for, not all the information or things you do are going to match up with other preppers. So if I'm saying something that you don't believe is true, that is okay. The point is just to be prepared and be prepared for any different types of emergencies. If you don't have an everyday carry, but you have a bug out bag, well, then that's great. If you don't have a bug out bag, but you have an everyday carry that can give you up to months and years of survival, well, then go with that everyday carry. Not everybody needs a bug out bag because not everybody would have to bug out. And the thing is that not every emergency situation or shit hit the fan scenario requires for you to bug out. And we're going to talk about that more in another video. So if you guys are interested in what I have to say, please subscribe to my channel. I will talk about prepping, survival, nomadic living, if that's something that you like. But definitely I will have more videos and series on prepping so you can learn from me if that's what you're interested in doing. But keep in mind, although I'm teaching you something, go and follow other preppers who are in your geographical location. I live in Newfoundland and I'm surrounded by woods, so I'm talking from a woodsman point of view. If you live in a hot and sunny beach, or if you live in a hot and sunny place like California, then maybe some things that I'm talking to about prepping is not going to resonate with you because you're in a hotter climate and a drier climate, unlike me. But hey, I listen to preppers from all across the world because we all have helpful information and we can all pull from each other and learn something. So without further ado, I'm done my yakking. We are going to get into this bug out bag and show you what goes into my bug out bag. And you're thinking, boy, that's a huge bag. How can a little woman like me carry such a heavy bag? And the reason why I can carry it is because I train with it. I walk with it, I run with it, making sure that I'll be able to carry this, you know, if shit ever hit the fan and I need to bug out. When we talk about bugging out, not everybody needs to bug out in an emergency situation, which leads to another video about bugging in and bugging out. If you stay tuned to this prepping series here on my channel on YouTube, we will get in more and more about prepping. So yes, so without further ado, let's get into this bug out bag and show you what I have.
As you can see here, compared to my everyday carry, if that's the video you're coming from, there is a lot more survival gear in here to give me long-term survival. As I mentioned in my TikTok videos, if you follow me on TikTok, I wouldn't say I'm fairly new to prepping, but I'm always learning. So eventually I will be able to condense my bug out bag and probably put some of this in my inch bag. I'm never coming home. So as you can see here, some of these items actually come from my EDC, my everyday carry, and they complement one another. And what I mean is by that is that I don't have more than one item unless it's like a knife or a flint striker. But as you can see here, I've taken items from the EDC and I've put them in my bug out bag. And I'm actually going to go into each item so you can see, and I'm not going to rush it, but you can see what each item is, such as what's in my hygiene bag, why I have an extra dry bag. We're going to see how my headlamp works. I'm going to show you how to unfold my Agua Boreal 21 folding saw. I'm going to show you my Silky Nada, my Japanese hatchet. And that's just some rope. This is my larger medical kit. As you've seen in my EDC video, I had a miniature one with very little stuff. You can see here I have some dry food packed in Mylar bags for long-term storage, which is another video we'll be having to do as well. Telescopic fishing rod. But let me just add, I have a lot of videos on my TikTok channel called The Newfound Nomad because I started my prepping videos there and decided to create a YouTube channel so I could go in a little bit more in depth, but also reach a new audience who are not quite fan of TikTok. So here we are. I'm going to get into each little item here. But before I do that, I'm going to just do some little magic and show you how all of this kind of like breaks down. And you thought this was a lot. Just wait till I've taken everything out of the little bags. Ta-da! And we've got some camera magic. Now, I know this looks like a lot, but this is what's going to give me some long-term survival. So the video is just going to be sped up a little here because I'm just giving you guys a kind of close up to all the items that I have in here, but I'm going to break down each item so you can see it a little better and we can focus on everything that I have instead of me just doing a quick overhaul and just pointing to things. I want to show you each individual item. So the first item I have here is my carbon steel Razorback full tang knife. I got this from BattleBox. BattleBox is a monthly subscription box for preppers, outdoorsmen, and survivalists. You pay a monthly subscription and you get good quality survival gear every month. And this is really good for those beginner preppers and don't know where to start and don't know what good quality gear is. You can always sign up with BattleBox. I'm one of their partners. I'll give you more information when I get this month's BattleBox. Stay tuned for more. I can't wait to show you what good quality product that they send you. The next item we have here is my first aid kit. I love this Molly pouch. If you guys don't know what a Molly pouch is, it's actually a military style pouch that you can actually hook on a bag that is a Molly bag, like my EDC bag or my bug out bag. And what it does is if you don't have enough room in your bags, you can actually clip the stuff on the outside, which helps you save room. So I can see I just have medical supplies in here. I've got another water filtration kit. I've got a little sewing kit. I've got some rope, some medical tape, odds and ends. This is a really great Molly pouch for a first aid kit. You can find it on Amazon. That's where I got mine. The next item I have here is a Swiss Army knife that belonged to my grandfather. He used this for everything from peeling potatoes to skinning rabbits, to opening cans when he's in the woods. It's lightweight, small, and compactable. Although I have a multi-tool and a knife, I do carry this with me everywhere, I guess for luck as well, but it's a great little tool that's lasted many of years. This is just some paracord for helping tying up tarps. As I'm mentioning tarps, you guys know my red camp poncho that I keep in my EDC. It's a poncho to keep you dry from the rain, but it also can be used as a tarp or a ground sheet. but I have an AquaQuest waterproof tarp. This is the best tarp on the market. It's going to last you a long time. I suggest that you get one. You can get different sizes. So what I would do is I use the AquaQuest as a shelter, and I would use the Red Camp as a ground sheet or just to stay dry. Here we are when we've talked about my Silky Nada. This is a Japanese hatchet. I absolutely love it. Anything made in Japan is a good quality product. Most of it anyways. So I'm going to show you pretty much. It just slides out. I can hook this onto my belt and carry it around on my side. But as you can see, it's a double-edged hatchet. You can split wood with it and cut grass or cut branches, and you can use it to skin some trees or peel back some bark. It's a great little tool. It's actually pretty lightweight, even though it may not look like it. I got this on Amazon for like $160 or $70. I actually learned of this item from the Canadian Prepper. It's a good quality hatchet. I recommend that you check it out and consider getting one. They also make saws, but I have one of the best saws that I learned from Joe Robinette, a YouTuber. This is the Agua Boreal 21. Super lightweight. You can buy different blades for it, like bone blades and all-purpose blades. I love this. I take this camping with me. It's a great little saw. It doesn't take up much room. And I'm actually going to show you now how you can fold it down and then put it together. So you got to have some strength for this. I can remember the first time I tried to do it, it was rough. Be careful, it is sharp. So yeah, it's pretty simple like that. It just folds away. There we go. And you can just slide that in the side of your EDC bag, your woods bag, or your bug out bag. And then you just do the opposite. Click it into place. And there we are. A functioning saw. So you guys probably recognize this Molly pouch here. This is also from my EDC, my everyday carry. So you'll just notice that I've actually added a few things into this pouch that I carry in my bug out bag. We've got some more stainless steel wire, great for setting snares, but also for fixing things. We've also got, that's a Molly pouch just showing you there. You guys know that already. So we've got a Write in the Rain notebook, a waterproof notebook. It's great for taking field notes, even in a case of an emergency, if you have to remember something, like what time you took a medication or something along that lines. I've got my survival lighter. We've got a knife sharpener that also has a whistle and a ferro rod and a little compass on it. I wouldn't really trust that compass, but everything else on this is great. I got that from Canadian Tire. Then we have a magnifying glass. Great for starting fires, but I use the magnifying glass to help me read maps, but also for plant identification when I'm foraging in the forests. We've got my Leatherman stainless steel multi-tool. It has pliers, knives, bottle openers, can openers. You've already seen that in my EDC video. Flashlight, batteries, my awesome Yuko ferro rod, and you've seen my stormproof matches. Windproof and waterproof. And the container actually floats. That's why I keep it in there. Just some lip balms, and we've already talked about the stainless steel wire. And a knot tying card. People might think this is funny, but my memory sometimes with like small things like learning how to tie knots is not the greatest. So yeah, why not? It's super lightweight. It doesn't take up room. And here we are. We have my Silva compass. So when it comes to compass, it's important that you learn how to use one. If you don't know how to use a compass, then it's kind of useless. You can get Silva compasses on Amazon for pretty cheap. I mean, some people still think it's pricey, but make sure you get a good compass and make sure it works. Here's just some Mylar bags with food in them, dry foods for long-term storage, different grains and cereals. And we also have the beef jerky, which is from my EDC bag. So yeah, I'll actually teach you guys in another video how to store food for long-term storage. And here we have a titanium pot to help boil water, herbs, or any grains or rice. I do like stainless steel, but apparently titanium doesn't rust, so it's a great asset. Next item here is my 80% wool blanket. Now, a lot of people would be like, why don't you just pack a Mylar blanket? Well, I really like wool blankets because even when they're wet, you stay warm. Having a wool blanket is not necessary and will add extra weight to your bug out bag. A lot of people opt for Mylar bivy bags, which I do have one. However, if I'm going to be bugging out for long term, I definitely want a warmer blanket. The next item I have here is a stainless steel Toiletry uninsulated water bottle. Great for boiling water in an emergency situation. Also great for collecting water as well. The next item I have here is Mi'kmaq Medicines. It is a plant identification book for the geographical location which I live in. I'm very big on foraging and learning about medicinal herbs and edible herbs that can be very useful in the wild or in the survival situation. A lot of people might not want to add the extra weight. However, I'm still learning about medicinal herbs and edible herbs and how to identify them. So this is a must for me in my bug out bag. You can find this book on Amazon. The next item I have here isn't required. It's just a luxury. And because it's a telescopic fishing rod, I can fit it in my bag and it's lightweight and it doesn't take up much room. You could always kind of get creative and make a fishing rod using a stick in the woods. However, if I can carry my telescopic fishing rod, I will. You will probably recognize 2 of these 4 items because they come from my EDC bag, my everyday carry. As I mentioned, wool stays warm even when it's wet. Here are just a pair of gloves from my EDC bag. Now, I've actually taken these out of my bug out bag, so avoid those. You only need 1 pair of gloves. However, you will probably notice that I will add those extra pair of gloves into my inch bag. And that there's my ski mask and my buff, as you guys already know that. Next, we have a toiletry bag because hygiene is important. Those little cubes of soap looks like is actually shampoo. I have a mirror here, and these are soap sheets, compactable and lightweight. Then we've got some tampons, as I am a woman. Another great item to have is reusable leak-proof underwear and a Diva cup. Having reusable things when shit hits the fan is important, because tampons will be scarce. And other items in here is like a dry bag to put all my items in. We've got the Wizzy wipes, add water and they expand. A razor, a comb, and a toothbrush. Oh wait, I just noticed my toothpaste is not in there. I gotta add that in. And these actually here are laundry strips. And you only need a little piece of square to help you do laundry. Great, lightweight, and compactable. And that is my toiletry bag. Oh, wait, before we leave, here is my tweezers, my nail clippers, a pair of scissors, and there's also a mirror in here, which I forgot about. So even though it's cracked, I'm going to keep this mirror and get rid of the other one because there's no reason to have 2 mirrors. They both serve the same purpose and it's just adding extra weight. Yeah, so we'll just put that one to a side, possibly put it in an inch bag or just part of the other prepping supplies that I have. And you guys probably recognize this and this from my EDC bag, my rechargeable headlamp. It takes rechargeable batteries and regular batteries. We also have a power bank over there to charge my rechargeable batteries, but also my phone if need be and any other devices that I may have. I do have a backpacking solar panel, but I carry that in my inch bag. You'll see that in another video. Here we have my packaway overpants, rain pants to help keep me dry, or if I do get wet, I can wear them and stay warm. And we just got some good old-fashioned duct tape and camouflage, because you know how I love camouflage. And then we have a pair of binoculars, which is not necessary, but I'm going to tell you, they're definitely going to come in handy in some emergency situations or if shit hits the fan. And the final item that I have here are my gaiters. I don't put this in my bug out bag. I just wear them if shit hits the fan because it'll help protect or it'll help keep my boots from filling up with sticks or twigs, rocks, or sand. As you guys know, that can be very uncomfortable and can cause some calluses and blisters on the feet. So yeah, I'm just pretty much showing you guys how I wear them. We're going to speed through this part because do you guys really want to watch me putting on gaiters? But they are a great addition to my outdoor gear. And that's my bug out bag. So you're probably wondering, am I going to be carrying this everywhere I go? No. Like I mentioned, when I grab my bug out bag at point B, I'm going to be bugging out to my bug out location. And once I get there, I can actually leave my items there. So I don't have to be carrying this bag everywhere. And the thing is that if the bag gets too heavy or I'm traveling for a long period of time, because say if my bug out location gets jeopardized, well, I will still have my EDC with me and I can actually break up the items and put my EDC items back in my everyday carry that on the front, against my chest, and carry my bug out bag on my back. And I'll show you guys what I mean when I say that. And the thing is if I'm going out into the field, I'm going hunting, fishing, or I'm foraging, I'm not going to carry my bug out bag with me. I'm going to carry my everyday carry. And that way I don't have to carry the weight around. But it's important for me to say, if you guys have a bug out bag, be sure you train with it, especially if the bag weighs 60 pounds or more, because you're not going to want to have a shit hit the fan scenario or an emergency scenario and you haven't tried training with your bag, because you're probably going to be out of shape if you're not training, and it's going to be a lot harder, and you might sustain an injury like a bad back, or you could sprain your ankle, and then what are you going to do? So when I talk about my bug out location and bugging out, a lot of you might have questions like, where are you bugging out to? What is your bug out location? Well, I'm not going to share that with you, but I will do a video. As I mentioned, I'm going to be doing a emergency bag tier video. I'm going to be talking about bugging in and bugging out, and I'm going to be talking about bug out location, and all in separate videos. So be sure to subscribe and learn more about prepping from this newfound nomad, Newfoundlander, and I hope you guys enjoy my video. Remember, stay safe, stay kind, and much love to you all. Keep in mind, everybody's bug out bag and everyday bag is going to be different based on their geographical location. And I must emphasize that. Just because I might have more items in mine doesn't mean that you need to have all the same items in yours. So be sure to do your research, cross-reference different preppers' bug out bags lists, and find out what works best for you. If you guys are interested in getting a bug out bag list from Survival Sylvan, a prepper that I follow, I'll be sure to share that list with you. Some of it is redundant, so I wouldn't recommend filling both your bag and your EDC bag with the same things. As I mentioned, your EDC, your everyday carry, and your BOB, your bug out bag, should complement one another. So remember, as I said, stay safe, stay kind, and see you in the next video. Thank you for watching the Newfound Nomad, prepper, nomad, and survivalist. Stay tuned for more.